What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Chris and Tim podcast, episode number 37. Of course, we got Chris here today. How you doing today, Chris?
Doing pretty well. How things going?
Not too shabby. We are 2 subscribers away right now from 2,000 subs. Thanks for everybody, especially the new subscribers that have just come to the channel. Appreciate everybody that's just recently subbed. We're having a lot of fun on this channel. And thank you very, very much. Of course, we already got DRG here. What's up, DRG? What is Bod his Fatfas here? Asan Morse is the best podcast on YouTube. Well, that was very kind of you to say. And I have a feeling Tim doesn't know what time it is. I always don't know what time it is. Now, of course, that one ran a little bit over time, and then he was unfortunately, he kind of forgot about it, which is fine. It happens. But of course, that got pushed this back instead of 8:45 start, 9 o'clock start. But we're here. And you're going to love us either way. All right, cool. Well, how's everything going with you, Chris? Everything good?
Pretty well.
Pretty well. That's it, huh? That's all you got for me?
Pretty well.
Just kidding. All right, cool. Yes, it's so close. By 2K, well, hopefully 2K by tonight. He shared it out on his Twitter and I think on his YouTube or something. So we should get 2K here in just probably the next 10, 15 minutes, potentially. It'll be fun. If not, it's all good. We'll get it when we get it. All right. We're going to hop right into the debacle. 33-22 loss to the New Orleans Saints. We'll start with the offense, then we'll go into the defense later. So, Chris, overall thoughts on how this offense played?
They put up 21 points. I mean, and that's a bad game.
Yeah.
So that's a positive sign. They put up 21 points. They was in the red zone multiple times, and that was a bad game against an actual good defense who actually had all their starters. And you still scored 21 points. So and also do 2 picks along with that, and you still had 21 points. So I think that should be a good thing to take out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what? Now just thinking about it, there's a lot of positives in the offense on this game. We know what Carter could potentially be the future slot, and he also can go outside. Dax Milne showed what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
I think Adam Humphrey should specifically be a guy that comes in on important moments of a game.
Okay.
Ricky Seals-Jones is what I thought he'd be and what I thought he should have been, the second tight end. And I don't know why they didn't give him more targets after he was just destroying them the entire game. So I mean,
that one incredible catch when he went up and got hit at the same time and somehow came down with it. That was awesome. But yeah, I agree on the Ricky Seals-Jones.
He got a tight end too. He needs he can block at times. He's spotty with his blocking, but that can be better. But we know we good without Logan for now. However long, let Logan be out for long he want, because we got Rick. I mean, that's pretty much on the offensive side. Other than Heineke, 2 picks. I mean, he missed. I mean, it's no question he missed a lot of throws.
Yeah.
Even when I went back, I was like, he's open. You got to hit that. He knows that. That's why I always send you the press conferences to let you know that he knows it.
Yeah, I didn't actually get a chance to watch it all the way. I was watching the Terry one, yeah.
If you look at, I'm going to get into that later on, definitely.
Yeah.
But he knows everything that he done wrong. He went back, he looked at the tape. You know, I'm not ever worried about Heineke. I know he's gonna bounce back big in this upcoming game, but he missed a couple plays. And I think a lot of that is due to, I don't know why he stays in the pocket for as long as he does. But overall, the offense could have been better, left a lot to be desired. But, you know, I gotta clap it up for him.
There you go. All right. I thought Heineke had his worst game yet, which is unfortunate, and the film showed it. You mentioned the stuff he missed. And there was like a couple of things that even like when you look at it at first, you think, okay, he did well. But then you go back and look at the play, and it's like, man, you missed something big. And it's like, dang it. Like, that's the play design, too. Like, that first down run he had, Humphreys was wide open in the middle of the field. I mean, and that's the design. Like, literally, they attacked the middle linebacker. That was the whole idea of the play. Ricky Seals-Jones came from the left side, sat in the middle of the field, bringing the linebacker up, and then Humphreys went across the field from the other side, and he was wide open for like a 15, 20-yard gain. Wish that Heineke saw that. And as I said, it's not like some like weird backside throw that you shouldn't have missed. That was literally the play design. Like that should have been first or second read. So unfortunate on that one, but we did get the first down. The two picks were egregious, if we're being honest. The last one you could say, oh, he was trying to do some things, blah blah blah. The other one we were right in the game, first half, that underthrow was abysmal. I mean, you just can't make that throw. It's got to be high and outside. But he's bound to have a bad game, right? Like it's not like it's unheard of, but there's definitely things to be made up for on this one. And to your point, he's going up against a pretty suspect defense. So next week, so we'll see how he bounces back. I know a lot of people hating on the play calling. I made a whole video on this. I thought the play calling was fine. There's some things that you could go ticky-tack on, or not even ticky-tack. Like, there's a couple of bad calls. It's not like he's perfect, especially in the second half. I thought the first half, though, was a great called game that Heineke just missed some things, and we should have been up 28-13 at halftime. It was tough. It was tough to watch. I'm not going to lie, when I went back and watched the film. They bracketed Terry all game, and I really don't actually want to hate too much on Marshawn. He did play well. When what they asked him to do, he was right there with Terry a lot of times, step for step. A lot of times Terry had the room, even when they were one-on-one. But there's a lot of times, I mean, like he actually was a huge reason that 4th and 10 failed on that comeback route. He just gave like that slight push as the ball got there to make Terry's left foot go out of bounds. Like that wasn't so much that we just messed up. That was actually a great defensive play by Marshawn Lattimore. But again, I do want to put it in perspective. All right, there was a safety over top of Terry pretty much all game. All right, like it was not like he had to cover Marshawn Lattimore. That is the entire route tree against Terry. Another thing I noticed in this game, and he'll have a good run here or there. Gibby needs work. Like he's not a top 10 running back right now, or top 15 running back in my opinion. He has the skill set to potentially get there, but he has a lot to learn. He misses some holes. He doesn't really understand the down and distance thing of like 2nd and 1. You just need to hit it and go and move forward. Like he tries to dance sometimes, and it puts us in some more tougher situations. And then sometimes those dances turn into good plays though. Like he had a spin move on like the first run of the game that could have been stuffed that he made the lineman miss. So there's a give and a take with it. But right now, I'm still seeing a guy that obviously this is only his 2nd year at running back. And we know that, but there's still stuff to learn. I don't know what you think about that. Do you agree with that, or do you think that
I think Gibby's
I'm out
fine.
of school? You think Gibby's fine?
He got 5 touchdowns on the year. He's top 10 in rushing. So, I mean, and a lot of the times, I blame Scott Turner for him not getting the ball more because they just stop running them. A lot of times it's him trying to make something happen when it doesn't need to happen because you're giving them curries and spurts. When a running back catches the rhythm, he catches the rhythm. Keep giving him the ball. Stop. Don't not ruin their momentum. That's what Scott Turner does to him. So I blame Scott Turner.
He had that great drive in the third quarter. He just kept running the football. It was nice. And they were pounding the rock on that one.
I need to see Gibby getting 20+.
Yeah, and also, I'll say this also in perspective. Gibby's not our problem by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I say this in more of just like an overall general view. I'm not sitting here thinking like, we are desperate for a new running back, and that would fix all our problems, right? Like, I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm seeing a guy that still needs growth. And I'm not saying he can't get there. I think he can. He has the physical tool set, 6 foot, 225 pounds, runs a sub 4.4. The guy has all of the skill set to be a phenomenal running back, but I hope that he's not resting on his laurels. Let's put it that way. I hope he's just like the Terry mindset. Like, I'm going to get better every single day and improve my game. I don't care how good other people think I am. I'm going to get to the next level. Yeah, as far as the offense goes, this is the first game you could really put it on the offense, I think. I don't know about you, but like the offense clearly was a failure in this game. The defense was a bigger failure, but the defense was a failure in this game. Do you not agree with that?
I'm not blaming the offense for the loss.
I can understand that, but the defense did give us 2 first-half turnovers, and all we get in the other drive is 3 points.
I don't care what you do. That's why it's 4 quarters. It's not a half. You gave up 33 points. That's the defense's fault. You don't give up 33 points. And if you was as good as you thought if you were as good as everyone thought you were, if your offense messes up, you're supposed to pick up. But you didn't. You still gave up 33 points.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor Heineke should not have to continue to bring you back every single time.
Every week.
And he shouldn't have to go into halftime down 20-13 when he should have went into halftime 13-13, getting the ball back with momentum. And then you could open up the playbook even more. So the defense gave on that. So on this end, I'm still blaming the defense. Offense gave you 21, and that was a bad day.
Yeah.
Come on. It's supposed to be. We always say if the offense could just give us this amount of points, we should win. Well, they gave you 21. They gave you, 30,
22,
30,
22,
34, yeah. 26, 16, and 21 this game. I mean, what you want them to do?
Yeah.
You got to be able to come home and bring help the offense out for a change. Win us a game. Defense.
You know what? It's a great point to say. If you said before the season this offense was averaging like 23.5 points, what do you think our record would be?
5-0.
5-0, 4-1, right? I mean, with this great defense, we should have a great record with how our offense is playing. I 1,000% agree on that. And the defense has not lived up to expectations. But Ron thinks they're improving. So let's go ahead and hop into this defense. You have the quote. Go ahead and go through. What does Ron Rivera think about our defensive unit?
All right. So he says, on the defense having a long way to go. He says, well, I'm going to break this whole thing down. He says, well, we have a long way to be consistent. So once again, he reiterates that he don't believe, like he reiterated earlier, he said that he didn't believe this was against the Bills after the Bills game. He said, we don't have a long way to go at all. So he says we have a long way to be consistent. But you've been consistently inconsistent.
Consistently pissed.
You can't be consistent being consistently inconsistent. Yeah. That's number one. He said again, everybody sees, unfortunately, the 2 bad plays. I get it. It's not that it's just the 2 bad plays. It happens every game.
Every game.
So you can't keep saying it's just 2 plays when it have plays. And what makes it even worse, it's the same players every single play. So you can't keep saying it's just 2 plays every game. It's going to happen every game until those players get out. Uh-huh. He goes on. Well, where I stop at? He said, I get it. There were 2 bad plays, bad plays that really impacted this game. But don't take away from what the guys have done. Don't take away from the improvement that has been made. The only improvement that has been made was the D-line has been playing a little bit better the past 2 weeks. From what I've seen, Matt Ioannidis is starting to heat up. Deron Payne's starting to heat up. And for whatever reason, y'all man Jonathan Allen is being held back by Jack Del Rio when he's getting paid $17 million.
Yeah, that was a crazy quote. Let me get after him is what he said?
Yeah.
Let me get after it. What? So yeah, that's a wild one.
The defensive line is starting to heat up. Mm-hmm. You can build something. Chase Young probably can build something off the quarter or the half that he had because he didn't have a good game. Had a good half and quarter. He can build something off that, sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, shoot. I lost it. Okay, I found it. Okay, so he then goes on.
I like this comment before you go on. Badis Fafa said, the only thing that has improved about this defense is Bostic is not on the field.
It is true. Then he says, this is about growing and developing. If every time all we want to do is to remember the negative, then we are not going to go anywhere. We're going to keep getting pulled backwards. Well, you don't do nothing good because the bad always outweighs the good. Mm-hmm. So why am I going to keep telling you? See, this goes back to me. These are grown men. All of them. They're not kids. I'm not about to keep telling the grown man what he's good at. I'm going to say, you're bad at this, this, and this. This is what you need to get better at. I don't care what you're good at. Fantastic. You want a cookie. Do you want a cookie for doing your job? No, I'm not giving you a cookie for doing what you're supposed to do. I'm going to point out everything bad. That doesn't pull you forward. Part of growing It's strengthening your weaknesses. So that
Yep.
means I have to point out and work on weaknesses, not your strengths. Because your
Right.
strength is your strength.
You have to
I like
play to your strengths, as far as like when you're calling plays on the field, you want to play to your players' strengths. But when you're talking about what can you improve on, like what's in practice, we got to work on what you're not good at and
exactly.
get better on that. I completely agree with that sentiment. Yep.
Then he says, we're trying to develop, we're trying to get better, we're trying to become a football team that can win on a consistent basis. I had a screen pop. I'm like, you want to build a consistent winner. You're only able to build a consistent winner if you're consistently winning. That's how you build a consistent winner, by consistently winning. Now you want to go back and say, now we're developing. But you just said today, when they asked him the question, the fans are not stop. We have the lowest attendance rate. He said, well, we got to start winning. But you just said yesterday that now we're developing.
Uh huh.
So you're contradicting yourself now. You just said we're developing. Who's
I like how the media has not like brought in the fact that we changed the name, and that's another reason why. Like that's probably the biggest reason is like you change the name, and a lot of people are boycotting right now. Like the people are upset. Like but that's not even like throughout their thought process. They don't even care. But anyway, sorry, that was a side note. Go ahead.
Then he says this is about teaching a bunch of young guys, teaching the second year and third year defensive end how it is done. Trying to make sure that the rookies that we're trying to develop get more opportunity. Okay, first off, part of your second and third year DNs getting better is their off season and them getting better on their own. You get them better when they come in the building. That's when you get them better. But part of it is them going to go do the work themselves, which honestly they're not doing because I haven't seen anything new from them, and they haven't gotten better. So you're trying to tell me it's about getting your second and third year guy better when they should already be better. Montez at this point is it's year three. There's no excuses. It's not about getting him better. He should already be better. Chase Young, you should already be better than what you was last year. You should already be bounce off the momentum of which you whatever momentum you had last year this year. Then you want to mention the young guys, but then you say Jamin Davis is a part of your game plan, and you say that about Benjamin St. Juice, but yet it's about getting those guys better and more opportunities. Which John Bates is not on the field. You drafted him, but it's about more opportunities. Jamin Davis is not seeing the field, but he's not more opportunities. Then Curtis Samuel's out, and De'Ami Brown would be a perfect time to develop De'Ami Brown, and you're not giving him what? No opportunities. So that makes no sense. So whatever you're saying is minute to me at this point because you don't even know what you're talking about. Because it's not about the development. You're trying to make it about development so you can temper expectations. But no, sir, I'm not going to allow you to do
that. I still can't believe he said that. And it's just such an indictment on where Jamin Davis is, and it's so sad that this is our first round pick. Like a first round pick, especially I think the biggest thing for me is this is not like a position that we can wait for development. You know, we didn't draft a running back that it's like, okay, we already have Gibson and okay, the guy behind him needs time to develop. We didn't draft a left tackle or we didn't draft somebody like that that's like, all right, what's another position that we're good at? Like we didn't draft a right guard. And it's like, all right, well, he's sitting behind Brandon Sheriff and Eric Flowers. And it's like, okay, he's got time to develop. We have the worst linebacking group in the NFL. He needs to play. And he needs to step in now. That's why we drafted him. We knew that this linebacking core was horrible, and you did nothing to address it other than Jamin Davis.
That's what we said. Me and you said it. We said we need to draft a guy that's ready now for linebacker. Yeah. And I just think with Jamin, he's ready, but he's not ready for middle linebacker. You have to play him to his strengths first, and then give him a couple plays at linebacker as middle linebacker. And as he make plays at middle linebacker, then he can start believing in himself. And now he's like, I got this. Right now, I think he's in his own head, and he's seeing that y'all not really giving me no playing time.
I know, he's only 13 snaps in as a first-round pick. That's going to hurt your ego, for sure.
How does that feel about his confidence, how shot it is?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Then he said,
1,000%.
give them a chance to grow and develop,
Oh
guys.
wait, hold on.
Again,
Actually, real quick. Did you say that how many snaps did Benjamin St. Juice play?
15.
No shot.
He only played 15. Jamie played 13. He played
No
15.
shot.
Played 15.
Oh, he's been arguably our best corner.
And when he came in the game, he had one of the biggest plays of the game. But it's none of
Oh
my
my,
business.
like legit, he's been one of our best corners consistently throughout. This is unbelievable to me that how in the Kendall Fuller's been dog water. Will Jack can't stop getting a PI. How in the world is Benjamin St. Juice not a part of the game plan? That's nuts. Anyway, I didn't even realize that. I didn't even think to look it up. I figured that Benjamin St. Juice played since he's healthy. I mean, that's nuts. All right, go ahead.
Just give them a chance to grow and develop, guys. Again, if stuff like this happened overnight, then Rome would have been built overnight. But we're going through this and we're developing and growing, guys. Again, understand that we see what is happening. We're trying to get past these things. We're trying to focus in on what is truly the development of this football team for the long run, not an overnight fix. If you didn't, but this is the defense is fixed. It wasn't, and you believe that the defense was fixed, Chris. You wouldn't added William Jackson. You knew you was getting Landon Collins back. That's why you didn't draft a safety.
Yeah.
And then you went and signed Bobby McCain. So you knew the defense was good because otherwise you would have just drafted a free safety. But you brought in a veteran in Bobby McCain and Landon Collins. You had William Jackson. And then you drafted a linebacker, which you knew you needed. And then you knew you had Matt Ioannidis coming back. So you knew the defense was fixed to begin with.
The defense was set from get-go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to say it's not an overnight fix.
This was a huge step backwards.
Exactly.
This isn't like fixing like the fact that we have to fix this defense is insanity. You added a first round pick to the defense that was already top 5 last year. And you signed the best free agent corner. And exactly. Troy Apke is way worse than Bobby McCain. And somehow we have taken the biggest step back I've ever seen. I mean, how many points did the Giants score on us last year? Nowhere near 29, right?
They had like 24, 23.
Yeah, 23 on one. I think the other one was like 20. And this year against this defense, I mean, Daniel Jones, and it's as if Daniel Jones has some mystery about him. Everybody knows that he can run. He destroyed us last year. Why is he the leading rusher again? You allow a rushing touchdown. How is he not a top priority on keeping him in the pocket? There's so much wrong here.
You say you're trying to build over the long run. Your team is, as of right now, the way it's looking, if the defense is what we thought it would be, with Heineke, we're ready to win now.
We're definitely competing.
I can argue that.
Competing for the division, even with how good Dallas has looked. We're competing with this division if our defense was top 5 like we thought it was going to be.
It's like it's not going to be over. You sign guys to 3-year deals. It's supposed to be built overnight. Really, it's not like you sign them to long term. 3 years is not long. First of all, this year is already over. Now that we got them 2. So you sign guys for now, not later. That's how you built this team. Because otherwise, if you would have built this team for later, you would have got rid of Landon Collins. You wouldn't be keeping them. You wouldn't have signed Bobby McCain. You would have been drafting and building, like I say, but you're not doing that. The team is already built. You just added to what was already there here.
The defense, I feel as though, is pretty much already built. The offense, I think, needs some work. We still need a quarterback. Taylor, I think Taylor needs work, but we still need a quarterback. Curtis Samuel is hurt, so Diami's not what we thought he was going to be. The offensive line is kind of mishmashed.
That offensive line is fine. I'm not worried about my O-line at all. That's the last thing I'm worried about.
Well,
The
it's just
running backs are set, the O-line is set, and my final
well, the
number
running back.
the
I
receivers
disagree. I
set.
think the running back needs work. I don't think the running back's. I mean, I think that it's set as far as like I think he can be the running back of the future, but I think he needs work. Um, we only had Logan, and Logan had a great year last year, but I mean, we're seeing now Ricky Seals-Jones is okay, but he's had a few drops. I think our offenses need some work, but our defense was supposed to be built 1,000%, and it's the second worst defense in football, which is insane.
Then he says last quote, "Man, I wish 7-9." He said, "You almost want to say, man, I wish 79 last year wouldn't have been good enough to win the division. That way, the expectations would have been much lower and would have been a little bit easier. This is hard. This is the way it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be hard because it is the only way you learn." So but if you
There's
didn't
no
wish,
way he's okay with the how the defense is playing, and there's no way that he believes what he's saying as far as
I mean, he said it,
yeah. There's no way. This
but
is
he
just
keeps
a
going back and
has.
forth. But
Yeah,
you,
there's
but
no way.
you're the reason why we won this division because you said, you know what? Why not go win it? And we just so happily to play the best against the team who won the Super Bowl and should have won if it wasn't for Cam Sanders, of course. But we just so happily to play them the best. And now you want to temper expectations. And I can argue if we had Taylor Heineke last year, we're 10-6. Because we win both those Giants games and we
Yep.
beat the Lions. That's
We beat
3
the Lions.
wins. So really we should have been
Yeah.
10-6. And we could have beat the Browns because we was up one, but Haskins gave the game away.
Yeah.
So I can argue 11-5. But now you want to temper expectations.
We're beating the Seahawks with him.
Probably.
And we're beating the Panthers.
So really you can argue. So it's just
Something crazy like 12-5 or something like that.
You wish we didn't win the. This is actually good for you that we won it because it actually shoots up right up your alleyway of building a consistent winner. You make the playoffs. Granted, our record wasn't a winning record, but we made the playoffs. So technically, we won. And then going to this season, we had everything. We had it all made up. We had everything in place. And for you to say we're developing, if we were developing, you wouldn't have signed Ryan Fitzpatrick for a year for $10 million. You wanted to win.
Quarterback.
You wanted to win.
Yeah.
But now the DC media is up, and we want answers. And this is what gets on my nerves. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. He acts like the defense is so hard to fix right now. It's really not. It really is actually a perfect opportune time to because your D line is actually starting to come alive somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. And then one of the things he said in his press conference is you don't want to stop moving guys around because you don't want to mess up anything or you don't want to mess with chemistry. The guys you had last year had the same chemistry with the guys this year.
You only have 2 new pieces, really, right?
William Jackson and Benjamin St. Juste. You play man coverage with those guys. They like to play press coverage. Play them to their strengths.
Well, I would say William Jackson and Bobby McCain are like the 2 new pieces.
Should not play. Shouldn't even be on the team. So what I'm saying is you simply just do this. Shays, you at free. Cam, you at strong. Jeremy Reeves is the backup. Landon, you go to linebacker. Bobby McCain, we playing you closer to the line of scrimmage. And then we're getting out the zone. We're going to play Will Jack and Benjamin St. Juste to their strengths and Kendall Fuller. That's it. It's not rocket science on how to do this. The problem is Ron Rivera wants to look like a genius. He wants things done his way. That's why he always says in press conferences, we want to get guys ingratiated in what we do. No. Part of growing and developing is knowing when you're wrong and admitting when you're wrong and making a change on that. Ron Rivera doesn't want to change anything because he wants to look like a genius. That's the problem with this. Until he's ready to get out of his way and admit that his ways and his plan is not working, the defense is going to stay the way it is.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean, I 1,000% agree. I mean, this is a must now that Landon Collins goes to linebacker. He is not a safety. Period. It's just not oh, well, maybe, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no argument anymore for Landon to stay at safety. There's just not. So that's one. I agree that like I don't. Do I think DeShazier Everett makes a big difference? I don't know.
Huge. Because you
I mean,
remember last year, especially in the Steelers game, they didn't want to catch the ball. We have nobody in the secondary to instill fear in you outside of Cam, and Cam's not back there. When Shays and Cam was back there, it put fear in teams because
you know
they
what?
knew
I
they were
hope.
going to hit.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to say this. I hope Derek Forrest comes back. You know why?
No.
Because that he can replace Everett on special teams to then where we feel comfortable
Yeah,
playing
that's true.
Everett on the starting defense. Maybe whole time Derek Forrest is our key. Your face. No, go that far. He's the savior. So then Everett can play free. Cam Curl plays strong. Landon linebacker. Bobby McCain off the team. William Jackson, Benjamin St. Juice, Kendall Fuller back in the slot, or put Kendall on the outside and St. Juice on the slot. What I actually found it interesting listening to the Kansas City Chiefs fan. Kendall Fuller played more free safety than corner apparently for Kansas City. I didn't know that. For some reason
You knew it. I told you that.
Well, I didn't believe it. I guess I don't know. It's like
when I
guess.
said it.
Yeah, cause screw you. I don't believe anything you say, Chris. No, I'm just kidding. But for some reason, I'm just like, I thought it was like more of like a trick thing that they played. Like when you said like, oh, he played free safety, I thought like, oh, okay, like in some scenarios they threw him back there. But he was saying that like I didn't even when you said it, I didn't understand that he played free safety more than corner. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know that was the thing. So yeah, I'd throw him at free safety.
That's what I don't know.
Yeah, throw him at free safety 1,000%. He's not doing well at corner anyway. So pull him from corner. I wish we still had Torrey McTyer because that would have made that one easier.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, like maybe Corn Elder could be the next Torrey McTyer.
No.
Man, and that would have been another reason to get Gilmore. Imagine if we had Gilmore, Will Jack, St. Juice's corners, Kendall Fuller free safety. DeShazier Everett can stay on his special teams because he's a beast at that anyway. Cameron Curl at strong. Landon, Cole Holcomb, Jamin Davis at linebacker. We got already the beast front seven, like the front four rather, front five. We've actually been playing a lot of 5 down linemen. But yeah, it's that would have been that would have been awesome if we could have got our hands. And for a 6th round pick in 2023. For those of you who don't know, we traded a fifth for a long snapper that everybody wants to complain about, that he's the reason Dustin Hopkins can't make a stupid field goal. We traded a 5th round pick for that. And we're not willing to trade a 5th round pick in 2023 for Stephon Gilmore? Unbelievable. I just, that's, I don't even know what more could be said with that. Like, that's unforgivable. Really. It truly is. I mean, because why in the world would the Patriots want to trade him to the Panthers over us if we're giving a higher pick? It's not like we're, like, in division of the Patriots or something, or even in conference that's like, no, I don't want to trade him to you. I'll trade him to the Panthers. There's no reason to. Like, we could have easily topped that anyway. Anyway, all right. So the question is the season over, and where do we go from here?
Nope. It's not over.
Ooh, some optimism.
Because after, like I said, I watch press conferences.
I
watch press conferences.
You're letting them talk you into it.
I ain't letting the defense talk me into nothing. Not the defense. I think Heineke has another shot to solidify himself as the franchise quarterback.
Okay.
Because of this game and against the quarterback he's going against. What's the next segment after this? Because this could be a perfect segue into that game.
Well, actually, we were going to talk about the QB thing first. Oh, okay. You want to talk the QB before the season over thing?
Yeah.
All right. So you just mentioned that you think the QB, or that Heineke rather, has a chance to still has a chance to be a
3 games.
Okay, to be a franchise quarterback. So you had a direction that you wanted to go with this. So
I'm just
quarterback talk.
Well,
What do
the
you want to do this?
options. I mean, I think we have to talk about it now.
Okay.
As far as like after everything that's transpired, what are the options? Heineke's one option. Russell Wilson is starting to be more of an option. And I'm hearing Deshaun Watson may be gone at the deadline. Do we make that effective immediately? Do we just trade for him now in the middle of the season?
But
And
he
then
can't play, right? He won't play this year.
but it's better. But if somebody else is putting something on the table, I mean, I'm going to put something on the table too, especially if he's cleared. But then it's the guys in the draft. The problem with the guys in the
Is there a scenario that you trade for Watson and he's not cleared?
no.
So that like you won't like trade like a less amount, like one first rounder or something like
I
that?
mean, if they take less, then I'll do it. But if I'm not, I just can't put my stock in it because what if unless they had like some.
But this is
It was a way
true.
that you could put like something in a contract is to where if he's not cleared, then you just
Uh,
get everything back, which actually should be able to be,
yeah, that's true.
contracted. If we able to do that, I don't care. They can have whatever they want. It's outside of Cam and Juice. I don't care whatever else. And obviously Terry and
But
Gibson and
can
them.
the franchise survive Watson right now? With the FBI raid, with Bruce Allen sending naked pics, with the whole rigmarole, Dan Snyder on the fix, on the fits rather, like
Well, that's the
this
tough part. That
whole
means you have to wait. Then
shenanigans. Can we actually make a
that
move
means you have
for
to wait.
Deshaun
Then
Watson?
you have to wait. Then, but then the guys in the draft, as of right now, none of them are ready.
I'm ignoring you,
I,
spoiled. You're talking mad
I
smack right
think
now.
Howe can come step in because of he has nothing over there in UNC. He is
Yeah.
struggling. But what I've seen in him is can you make up for what your team does not have? He can.
Okay.
That's what I see in him.
Hmm.
And that's a franchise. That's a making of a franchise quarterback.
Maybe that's the fix for De'Ami Brown too.
Probably.
Yeah.
What Malik Willis, it makes me so angry because people keep hyping him up, but he doesn't play anyone.
Yeah.
He's like he has that Zach Wilson factor. Like he doesn't
Wait.
play anyone.
Willis, you said Malik Willis?
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
play anyone. So it's like, I mean, you're hyping him and he hasn't played nobody. And guys like that, you have to start them because they haven't played nobody. That's
Yeah.
why Zach Wilson is struggling so much because you don't really know their weaknesses because you playing bad teams, so they look away.
I'm at
But
1999. 1,999 subs. We're right there. Sorry.
but they look away
Uh huh.
in hindsight. And I told you, I said Zach Wilson not ready, but you have to play him. And now look at how he looks. He looks terrible because now you know his weaknesses. That's the problem with Malik Willis. So if
Well,
we
that
would have
offense
drafted
is abysmal right now. That offense as a whole is
fine,
abysmal.
but wherever he
Like that
went,
old great O line that we both agreed that we thought that he was going to have a great offensive line has been horrific. Like it's bad
but now
over
he
there
knows
for
what it's
them.
like. He was going to look like that anyway.
And we'll see. We can't see. It's impossible to know that, but like it's a counterfactual. But at the same time, I think he could have had a chance to look decent if he had some protection. But right now, I'm hearing that he has no sort of protection. It's bad.
He didn't even look good in training camp. So, like I said, guys like that, if you draft him, he sets us back 1 or 2 years. He's a 3 year project, easy.
Malik, yeah.
And I mean, people just marvel. I get it. He's a first round pick. Don't get it twisted. But him here, I do not want that. That is a dangerous, dangerous thing for us to have to develop him. And we gotta wait 2-3 years. And then players' contracts start you know what I mean? That's my problem.
Yeah.
So Willis to me, and I think he's gonna be the first pick off the board anyway. He
You
should
think he's going to be number 1 overall?
If it's the Texans, yeah.
Wow. You
If
think
it's the
there's
Texans,
that
yeah.
much?
Because if he hits, he's better than Deshaun Watson. That's how good he is.
Is he
If
like
he
the?
hits.
He's
He
like
reminds
Lamar,
me
right?
of Deshaun Watson.
Oh, is he more like Deshaun Watson or is he more like Lamar?
He's more like Deshaun Watson, but
Okay.
he's more athletic than Deshaun Watson.
Okay. So he's like a
So
Kyler Murray kind of thing?
I wouldn't say that. He's way bigger than Kyle. He's 6'3".
Okay.
So he's way bigger than Kyler Murray.
Okay.
But like I say, and then Corral, I like Corral.
Ole Miss. Okay.
It just, I mean, you want to say he's undersized, but I mean, after seeing Kyler Murray and him, I don't think height really matters at the quarterback position anymore, personally. But you know who I want? Know the guy I want.
JT Daniels.
I think the option should be Ritter, Corral, or Howe.
Okay.
Ritter, Corral, or Howe in the draft. Ritter, he needs a year.
Okay. Ritter
That's the guy that you're going to have to throw out there. I think Heineke starts. Ritter needs the year. Get the things that he needs done. Get him right. But that's your options right now as far as the draft. And I'm letting you know that because you're going to agree with me once you look at all these guys. You're like, those are your three options.
Okay.
And all three to me need to sit outside of Howe.
Okay.
The other two, they need to sit a year. So really, you kind of putting yourself like, okay. I mean, it depends on how well Heineke plays. Because if Heineke plays well, and you still draft it. Let's say Heineke takes us to the second round of the playoffs. I mean, I don't mind letting this guy sit a year then. Mm-hmm. Really? Because I got Heineke. He can take me back.
Yeah, I hope Heineke does well because I would even want, as you're saying right now, I would rather even – that would make me want to draft a quarterback more if Heineke can be our bridge. If we don't have a bridge, then maybe I'm leaning more towards trying to trade for a guy. You know, of course there's Watson. Of course maybe there's Aaron Rodgers. Of course there's maybe Russell Wilson. Is there Derek Carr maybe out there?
Because you got to ask yourself.
Matt Ryan? I don't know.
No. The thing with Derek
you just don't want a statue, right? Is that your whole thing?
No,
with
it's
Matt
just
Ryan?
No. I think we need a franchise quarterback. Justin Herbert, Patrick.
You don't think
Mahomes.
Matt Stafford could be Matt's not Matt Stafford. Matt Ryan could be a franchise quarterback?
No.
Why not?
If he was a franchise quarterback, the Falcons wouldn't be as bad as they are.
Well, they just have they have a terrible defense as well.
The Falcons wouldn't be as bad as they are.
Well, they went to a Super Bowl just 3-4 years ago.
Who was the team around them?
Yeah, well, he won MVP.
The team around him.
Oh, well, I don't know. It's interesting. They had a bad offensive line at the time, but of course, they had Julio.
When you got guys like Herbert, Mahomes, they make up for everything. That's what we need.
Well, I don't want to pay Matt Ryan like $32 million a year, whatever he's making. But, I would be curious if he would take a pay cut in his older age, maybe try to go to a better all-around team. It's interesting.
He's going to be
he's like way down on the totem pole. He's not like my first option. But I'm just saying, like, I would take him over a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like what we got this year. Like, that's something, like,
I
anyway.
wouldn't take him over Heineke. Heineke beat him. So I'm not taking him over Heineke. He outplayed him too. So I'm not taking him over Heineke. But there's your options.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Well, I still have a lot of work, as you know, on scouting these quarterbacks. So it's very interesting to see where they end up the remaining of the year. Obviously, Ritter's having a great year. Cincinnati's number 3 overall, you said, at 5-0. So that's fun. I'm very curious to see if he ends up going against a Georgia's defense. That would be a fun one to watch because I'm just in love with Georgia's defense. And honestly, what's funny is I don't know if I've watched. We watched Georgia versus Clemson. And yeah, they were phenomenal in that game. But outside of that, I haven't watched any of them. I'm just enamored by what they're doing as far as statistically speaking is. So I'm very interested to see how that one goes. But yeah, I could go either direction. I would say I'm more leaning to draft a quarterback if Heineke plays well the rest of the year to be a bridge. And if Heineke does not play well, I may lean towards maybe trying to make a move for like a more of a quarterback that's already out there and try to go that direction. I think that's what I'm willing to say for now. All right, let's go back to that question that I had earlier. Is this season over after what we've seen so far?
I'm not giving up.
Not giving up.
I'm not giving up on Taylor Heineke. If you look at his press conference, he was angry. Because Terry, I look at all press conferences. Terry So it was asked about Heineke. He was like, Heineke, he looked pretty mad after the game. Looked pretty mad. He
Mm-hmm.
came into practice. He looked pretty upset and mad and all this other stuff. He's like, and Terry was like, yeah, he came in. He was more focused. He was like just more hard. And Heineke said he's still pissed off about the way he played last game. He said the two interceptions that he had was unacceptable. He said I missed guys I shouldn't have missed. I should have thrown. He said it was one play. He took a seven. The one with Terry came all the way across and he underthrew it. He said he took a 7-step drop instead of a 5. And he said that was just stupid and that was his fault. So he's seen stuff
Interesting.
like
Okay.
that. He just was mad as he said he just gonna use it as fuel for next game. So I'm like, okay, a Mad Heineke, Mad Heineke. He looked like and when he have a bad game, he come back with something with some magic. You come back with some magic. So it's like, you know what? Heineke's going to play extremely well this game.
Okay.
Extremely well. Because he always knows what he does wrong and he fixes it the very next game. So Heineke is going to ball out. We're not done yet.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
believe it.
not dead yet. It's interesting to see. Right now, our fan base is basically split, according to my poll, 69 votes. Right now, it's 49% that think that Scott Turner's bad and still think he's bad. And then now 51% think that they feel good about him. They feel solid. They think that he's a solid offensive coordinator. So we're basically 51-49, just barely in favor of Scott Turner at this point. Very interesting takes here. And then 20, what did I
Well,
say, 20?
that's gonna be. I think I'm just gonna wait till we get in a preview.
All right, 26% said they thought he was bad before my video, but they feel better about him now. So hey, I changed. What is that? What, 15 minds out there? 18 minds? That's kind of cool. All right. Well, as you said, that's a good segue into this preview. So as far as do I think this season's over, I think we're on a huge uphill battle. I don't want to say the season's over because I said the season was over last year, and
Crazy.
obviously it
Crazy.
didn't. It ended up not being over. I thought it was over at 2-7 after that loss to the Giants. I just felt like this team needed to throw it in, but so I'm not right now willing to say that it's over. But at the same time, I mean, as far as chances to make the playoffs at this point, I'm giving us like less than a 10% chance. I think it's a super uphill battle because the schedule's insane. The defense has so many issues that it has to work out. It doesn't seem like the coaching staff is willing to make those changes and make those adjustments that need to be made. So it's an uphill battle. But as I said, I went off the deep end at 2-7 last year. I'm not going to go off the deep end yet at 2-3, even though things look bleak. That's my thoughts on here for now. But let's go ahead and hop into the preview. Let's take a look at the injuries just to discuss this a little bit. A lot of people that are questionable. We got people like Jonathan Allen, Cole Holcomb, De'Ami Brown is the questionable. Sam Cosmi. I don't think Cosmi's going to play. That ankle seemed pretty beat up. Curtis Samuel re-aggravated something. I don't know if he said he re-aggravated the groin or if maybe something else is now bothering him. Antonio Gibson's still questionable. But he played last week, and it seems like it's the same injury, so Gibby should be fine. We may get Brandon Sheriff back. That's up in the air. And, of course, also Cam Sims is questionable. So a lot of injuries, but they have some injuries as well. I talked to the Kansas City Chiefs fan. He thinks that Travis Kelce has a serious chance of missing this game, which would obviously help us. He doesn't think Tyreek Hill has much of a chance, and his offensive player that he gave to be successful was Darrell Williams, the replacement for Clyde the Glide. So maybe they won't miss Clyde that much. And then their guard, Tooney, right now, or Thuney, they pronounce it Tooney, right? He is hurt right now with a fractured hand, but he apparently played the entire game, so we'll see if he ends up playing. And then also Travarius Ward is hurt, one of their corners. So both teams coming a little bit banged up. Both teams 2-3. Chiefs struggling obviously right now, but they've played some really good football teams. You think of the Browns, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Bills. I mean, these are definitely top 10 teams, maybe even arguably top 5 football teams, right? Like they're up there as far as really, really good football teams. So, what do you think about this matchup coming in?
It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout.
It's going to be a shootout. Did you hear what my wife said the score was going to be?
No.
She doesn't know anything about football, and I was like, what do you think the score is going to be of this game? And she goes, 42-37. I was like, that's actually probably not a bad prediction in this game.
I think we win. A close one. It's going to be a shootout.
Okay.
Going to be a shootout. Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce both play.
Okay.
I think it's going to come down to whoever gets to stop first. Personally. And lucky for us, but really not lucky for us, while was not saying much, we have the better defense. Like you said earlier, can we capitalize off of them turning the ball over? Can we? Which I think we will, because their defense is terrible. Looking at this game, it's a lot of it's one matchup that I'm watching for the whole game in particular. I just think this is going to be a shootout.
The over-under of this game is 56.
Yeah, I know.
Gee, somebody asked in the chat. I was curious. It's 56 is the over-under. And put that in perspective, the Bills-Chiefs game was 56.5. So we're basically the same as that Bills offense. That's how bad they think the Chiefs defense is. They're basically rating us the same over-under. Bet the over now.
But that's what I think.
The shootout thing. All right. It's interesting. Yeah, we're going to get into the final scores later, but I have a take on that, so we'll see. It's going to be a good game holding the Chiefs to 27. I agree with that. The Chiefs' defense is worse than ours. Somehow, some way, they are ranked worse than ours. They have more yards given up and more points given up per game. Thoughts on having the lowest attendance rating? I think it has mostly to do with the name. I think a lot of people are they're refusing to go to the games. There was a lot of season ticket holders that did not want the name to change, and they could not make up for the loss that they got after the name was changed with new people coming in yet, because the team also sucks right now. So it's not a winning organization. All of the crap that's been thrown around, we already talked about the Bruce Allen shenanigans, the FBI raid, all these kind of things. There's not much reason to like this football team right now, and then especially with their play on the field on top of it. I think that's why the ratings. Do you have any thoughts on that?
They're tired of Jack Del Rio.
Jack Del Rio. Fair enough. The Chiefs going to score over 40? Maybe. We'll see. All right, let's see. It was hilarious listening to that Chiefs fan talk about how bad their defense was. It was hilarious. Like that I'm just sitting there back and laughing because he was talking about how bad Sorensen, their safety, is, and I'm just sitting there thinking, Landon Collins, it's like, I know that kind of feeling, and it's just like, they have no pressure on the quarterback. I know that feeling, it was like, are you sure you're a Chiefs fan, right? Like, I think you said Collins wrong. It's when you said Sorensen. But anyway, it was just hilarious listening to that. But all right, any last things going into this game before we go ahead and hop into the keys of victory?
Nope.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. All right, let's just go ahead and hop right into it then. The keys to victory. Here we go. Number one for me is bend, don't break. The Chiefs right now are leading the league in turnovers. There's going to be opportunities to get the ball turned over, but if you let them score too fast, just like you let the Saints score, it doesn't matter. The turnovers are less likely to happen. I said number two, number two is capitalize on every single mistake that's made by Mahomes. Mahomes is not going to make many mistakes. He's going to be great. All right. I know he's made some mistakes throughout the year and other teams have capitalized on it. That is a key here. We have to capitalize on every single one of those mistakes. It might only happen once, twice, 3 times this game. We have to get it. If we let them off the hook and not capitalize on those are going to be a big problem. Number 3, win the time of possession game. We won it last week, and we lost. This week, it's even more critical, though, to win the time of possession. If you let Mahomes win the time of possession, way too explosive for us to have a chance in this game. If they even go 31-29, we've given the ball way too many times to Pat Mahomes. Number 4, Heineke needs to protect the football. In my opinion, he's thrown at least 6 interceptions in the last 2 games. At least 6 interceptions in the last 2 games. 4 of them were dropped. Fortunate for us. But he's got to protect that football. He didn't last week, and it really hurt because we had a red zone chance. He threw an interception that stopped points on the board. We should have had a lead going into halftime, and instead we did not. And the last thing, of course, this has got to be something we always harp on every week until it gets way better. It's that third down efficiency. The third down has been horrific. It got better last week, but then again, we gave up 2 touchdowns on third down. The 3rd and 7 bomb came on third down, and of course, the second touchdown to Callaway in the second half, that came on 3rd and 4. So we got to get better on third down. So even though we had a better percentage, we still gave up touchdowns on those plays. So those are my 5 keys to victory. You have anything to add to those?
Number 1, establish the run.
Okay, all right.
Number 1, establish the run. Give Gibby 20 plus.
Okay.
What that does is that controls time of possession.
Yep.
That puts Patrick Mahomes off the field.
Mm-hmm.
As a result of that, he has to press. He has to push the ball downfield, meaning putting the ball in harm's way.
Yep.
So, run the ball.
Yep.
2, get the ball to Terry.
Yep.
Terry should have 25 targets this game. He should have a ton of targets this game. It should be target city. Terry should have a huge game. Get the ball to Terry. That's 2.
Hey, Kill's a Dolphins fan. Go ahead.
3.
Yeah.
I need the D-line to get some form of pressure.
Okay.
Consistent pressure.
Yep.
Within the pocket.
Yep.
Keep him in the pocket. I don't want to see him moving out and extended plays. Jamin Davis is perfect for this game. Wherever Mahomes is, you spy. Whenever he rolls out, you blitz him.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. Well, I'm on
like
number 3 or 4.
You're on number 4 now.
4, double team Tyreek Hill.
Uh-huh.
Not with Landon over the top.
Yep.
Play press coverage on Tyreek Hill. Bracket him like they bracketed Terry. Do that.
Yep.
And then my 5th point, the matchup that I'll be looking for will be Kelsey versus Cam.
Ooh.
That's the matchup I've been waiting for all year. This is going to let me know, can Cam be a top 2 safety in his league, or can he just be a top 5, top 10?
Okay.
Kelsey versus Cam is what I'm looking for this game.
That's going to be a fun one. All right. I like it. I like that. That is going to be a fun one, a fun matchup. I like that matchup a lot. Hopefully Kelsey does play for that matchup alone. Hopefully he doesn't play just because I think he's going to crush us, because I don't think Cam Curl's going to spy him all game. But it will be interesting to see when they do line up across each other, how does Cameron Curl do? I like that. All right, on to the score predictions. What do you got as the score predictions in this game?
44.
Jeez. Okay.
No, 45. 42. 45, 42. Hold on. My math correct. 45, 42. Skins win.
45, 42. Holy smokes. Okay.
Skins win.
Good night. When's the last time we scored 45? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I think we scored 42 or 41. We scored 41 last year against the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, we did. 41-16. Yeah.
Yep. I think we may have scored 42 with RG3 back in the day. But,
I
man,
would, unless you want to
45.
go all the way. No, we had 35. I think it was 35-21. We beat them on that Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We also beat, I think we beat the Packers one year with 40 points. With Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk had a 40-pointer. But I don't think we've ever had 45 in those. 45 would be one heck of a game for us.
I predicted 4 touchdowns for him and 1 rushing from him. He throws 4, he rushes 1.
All right, in this game, I say the
Hold on.
final score. What's that?
No, I was trying to make sure my math added up to the score.
Yeah, it was 7 touchdowns and a field goal.
7 times 5 is what, 40?
7 times 5. You mean what?
7 times 5.
It's 35.
35. So, what's the other boy name? Gibson gonna get 1.
All right. Oh, you said Heineke's gonna have 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. So 5 touchdowns through the air, 1 touchdown on the ground. Okay. All right. Hassan Moore says 38-35 Chiefs. I like that. I like that one. No, sorry, 35. 38-35 Washington.
This one might go in overtime.
That's
the crazy
insane.
part.
I think the final score is going to be 31. Did I lose you, Chris?
I'm here.
Okay. 31-23 Chiefs. And I think that both teams are going to be able to move the ball quite well. I do think we're going to slow the game down, so I don't think we're going to score as many points because the game's going to be a little bit slow. But I think we're going to slow the game down. I think there's also going to be some turnovers that stall some drives from both teams. I don't think either team is going to be flawless in this game. But I think it's going to be slowed down a little bit, and I think it's going to be a 31-23 Chiefs. You know, I'm the quote-unquote realist on this channel. But, as usual, I hope Chris is right. That would be fun to watch a 45-42 game, wouldn't it? That'd be an insane
Fire
game.
the band.
You're not calculating the missed extra points. So it's 43-42 with 2 missed extra points, right? No, just kidding. All right, 45-42. That would be one hell of a game. It could be 42-37, just like Selena said. My wife. That would be an insane guess because, as I said, she don't know anything. I just think it's funny as heck. All right. Well, on to the power rankings for the week. The power rankings. I didn't even write them down this week. I'm actually looking at the standings now if you want to pull it up. But it's definitely interesting. I'm also going to check this real quick one more time. I'm still at 1999. Not quite at 2K yet. But all right, Buffalo, or let's see. Do you want to go first or be first?
You can go.
Or do you want to take turns, like who's our 5th and who's our 5th? And kind of
You can do that.
All right, sounds good. All right. So the 5th best team in the league. The 5th best team in the league. Let's go with... I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills are at number 5. They're 4-1. They just beat the Chiefs, but the defense as the Chiefs is not very good. We just talked about. They're on a 4-win streak after going down week 1. Their defense seems to be playing really well as their offense is starting to click. Josh Allen's a monster. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills at number 5.
Be more.
Baltimore Ravens, eh? I think I have them at number 6, to be honest. I don't think I have them in my top 5. But go ahead. All right, Baltimore. Why Baltimore?
Because they 4-1 and they beat the Chiefs, and they came all the way back against the Colts. 4-1.
4-1. All right, the Ravens. Even with the beat up team, they're well coached, man. I like the Ravens for sure. Number 4 for me. You want to go? Actually, you go because I went first on number 5. So you go first on number 4.
Number 4 for me is the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers. Interesting. Okay.
A-Rod. They playing good, and they also 4-1.
Fair enough. All right. Number 4 for me, I'm going Dallas Cowboys. I'm going the Dallas Cowboys, number 4. They took care of business against the Panthers. That offense is humming. They barely lost to the Buccaneers. So I am going with the Dallas Cowboys at power ranking number 4.
That's bull crap. But
All right, number 3. I'm number 3.
Chargers.
Well, sorry, I was going to... It doesn't matter. Okay,
Oh,
you already went, so
you
Chargers
already
number
know
3.
now.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Chargers number 3.
The Chargers. I mean, they lead their division, so they
Yeah.
exceeding expectations. I told y'all this before the season. I said the Chargers basically helped you as a Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
You thought I was crazy, but I'm right.
I had them at 10-7. I thought they were good.
Yeah, but you didn't think they were Super Bowl good.
I don't think I had them in my Super Bowl. My top 8 teams that can win a Super Bowl. I don't think I had them there. You're right on that one. All right, number 3 for me. Number 3 for me is I'm going to stick with the Rams. All right, they just lost to the Cardinals. It's a tough one, but I'm going to pick the Rams at number 3. Number 2. All right, so you went first on 4 and 3. I'll go first on number 2. Number 2, that's where I put the Chargers. I love the Chargers. Everything about the Chargers is just awesome to me. I think their coach is phenomenal. I think obviously their quarterback is fantastic. I think they can play great defense, even though they did get sliced and diced by the Browns. But the Browns are a great offensive football team. So I don't really harp on that too much. But I think that, of course, Bosa is a fierce defensive end. Their offensive line is top 5. Everything about this team is stud-like, and I love them at number 2. Who do you got at number 2?
Buffalo.
The Buffalo Bills all the way at number 2. Did you even have them in the top 5 last year?
You know what? Cool. I still don't like Buffalo. I'm going Rams.
Okay. No, Buffalo's okay. No, Buffalo's out. All right. Back to the Rams.
Rams.
Okay. The Rams. All right, the number 1 team in my power rankings right now is the Tampa. No, I'm just kidding. The Arizona Cardinals. They're proving me wrong, and they're the only 5-0 team. They're great. Kyler Murray's a stud. D-Hop, obviously. James Conner is coming alive. He had a good game last week. That defense is, I think, surpassing everyone's expectations. The young linebackers are doing great. Remember, everybody was like, who's going to be their corners? They seem to be able to cover well. And then, of course, J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones are staying healthy. So the Arizona Cardinals have the number 1 spot.
Boy, just say I'm right.
You didn't like their defense either. What are you talking about? You like their offense.
What did I say?
You said if, I guess, J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones is healthy, they think it'd be good?
I told you they were going to be better than who?
The Buccaneers?
No, not. I'm talking about within that division. I said who they be better than.
Oh, the Seahawks.
And who else?
And the Niners.
And rightfully so. Thank you. And that's my same team, the Cardinals.
Yeah, but I don't think you projected them 5-0, and all of a sudden looking like a stud.
But I knew they were going to be a good team.
Yeah, they're exceeding my expectations by far. Of course, I think I projected them at 6-11, so they would have to have the most incredible collapse of all time to finish 6-11 like I projected them. They're already 5-0, so that would be hilarious if they somehow fell apart. But all right, cool. So I had the Bills, the Cowboys, the Rams, the Chargers, and the Cardinals. That was my top 5. You had the Ravens, the Packers, the Chargers, the Rams, and then I actually didn't even ask your number 1.
Say the Cardinals.
Okay. I don't know if I think it was assumed, but I don't think you actually said it. So okay, Cardinals number 1. So a little bit different there. We had the Rams and the Rams and the Chargers switched. I think I had them at 3, you had them at 2, and I had the Chargers at 2, you had Chargers at 3. So our top 3 teams are the same, but the next 2 are different. So that's cool. That's a good mix, I think. I had the Bills and the Cowboys, you had the Ravens and the Packers. Okay, cool. Cardinals going to fall? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Bills are 1 or 2. Chargers take the slot the Bills don't take. Baltimore have us 3. Browns at 4. And then Tampa at 5. Interesting. Very interesting. Browns are still a great team. They're definitely up there. I would have Baltimore at 6. I think Tampa Bay at 7. And then I would go with who did I miss? The Packers at 8, I think. I think that's what I would say. Cool. Alrighty then. So the last thing to do is our weekly predictions. And Timmy boy, took home the week last week, coming back down 3 on the year, and he gets all 3 of them back in 1 week. Let's go. I think I only got 3 wrong all week. I only had the Panthers, the Raiders, and the Chiefs wrong, and so I went 13-3 last week. Chris went 10-6. So let's go ahead and hop back into our predictions. And we got the Thursday night game tomorrow.
No,
Tampa Bay.
If Philly win that game, I quit.
If Eagles win that game?
I quit. They better not win that game.
I know, right? That would suck for us. All right, so I also have the Bucks. So Bucks. All right, and we got, this is an interesting one, Dolphins versus Jaguars.
You going first. I went first to first.
Yeah, because you went first on an easy one, not a tough one. All right, I'm going to take... I'm taking the Dolphins. I'm not disrespecting Brian Flores like that. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Dolphins too, man. They can't lose their game.
All right. Packers versus Bears.
I'm going Green Bay.
Me as well. All right. Let's see. Let's go Bengals versus Lions. Bengals for me as well. All right, next up we got the Texans versus Colts.
Colts not going to lose to them.
I agree with that. So far everybody's going with the same team so far. All right, next up we got the Rams versus Giants.
Rams.
Yeah, Giants are pretty beat up. Got smashed by the freaking Cowboys as well. Washington versus Chiefs.
Man.
I went Chiefs.
I'm going to have to go with the Kansas City football team. Put me down for Taylor Heineke and company. We taking this win. Put me down for Taylor Heineke and company right here, right now. We beating the Chiefs.
Washington. All right. Sounds good. The Vikings versus the Panthers.
The Vikings can't be no worse than what they are. Vikings got to win something. So I'm going to go to Vikings.
All right, I'll go Panthers.
If the Vikings lose that game, put it this way.
Uh-huh.
If they have Dalvin Cook, because I don't know who he's going to play.
Well, Madison's actually decent.
You know what? I'm going to go with Vikings. You know what? You're right. I need a big day out of Madison, so we'll go Vikings.
All right, sweet. This is a fun game right here. The Ravens versus the Chargers.
I'm going Chargers. I think Ravens lose that game. Chargers got more than the Ravens.
I agree with that. The Cardinals versus Browns.
You going first.
I got the Browns. Give me the Browns. We're going to have no undefeated teams after week 6. Give me the Brownies.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to agree. The turning point, what got me to agree was Myles Garrett
Okay.
and JOK. They're going to contain Kyler. I'm going to go with the Bears.
The Raiders versus Broncos.
That's a hard one. I'm going to go. Ooh.
I already wrote mine down, but you have to say it
I'm
before
going
I
to go
say it.
Raiders.
All right, I went Broncos.
I'm going to go Raiders. Raiders have to win that game.
All right, let's go Cowboys versus the Patriots.
Cowboys.
I agree with that.
Sadly.
All right, and then Seahawks versus the Steelers.
Steelers.
Yeah, no Russell Wilson. It's going to be a tough day for the Seahawks. All right. And the Monday night game, Bills at the Titans.
Buffalo.
I agree with that. So we only have a few different ones this week. Broncos, Raiders, Panthers, Vikings, and Chiefs, Washington. That's the three different ones.
I need my team to come through for me. And even if they don't, I still got the Broncos. And I still got the Raiders. And who was else? The other one? The Vikings.
Vikings over the Panthers.
So I still be in good shape. That means I'd be up, 2?
If you lose Washington, win the other one. No, you'd only be up 1. Because you'd be up 1.
So maybe I can get on 3.
Ooh, yeah. Fair enough.
There
will not. The thing is, though, there will not be a tie after this week. That's one thing that's going to be true. Somebody will take the lead. Because either by 3 or by 1. So there will not be a tie.
3 teams tie.
Unless that's funny. Unless a team ties. True. Or even if one ties and then we split the other. It is a tie at that point. Fair enough. So the tie is what would do it in one of these matchups. All right. Sounds good. If we tie the Chiefs 42-42.
Dustin Hopkins missed the field goal, 3 seconds left on the clock, and overtime.
Oh no!
Tie ball game is over.
That Cowboys pick got me stuck. I hate them. I hate them too, man. I don't bet though with my heart. I bet with my head. That's why I'm picking the Chiefs. I don't bet with my heart because obviously I would pick if it's my heart. I'd pick against the Cowboys every week.
He won't let me down. I'm not going out like that.
He's not dead yet.
He's taking this game.
Dead yet. Awesome. All right. Well, that's a show. Thank you everybody for stopped on through. Bottas Fafa liked one of my picks. Brownie. Yep. There you go. Xavier Hall. What's up, man? They got too much going on. Distracted. The Broncos. Yeah, exactly. The Raiders are too much distracted. I can agree with that.
And that's exactly why I think they're going to win because they don't have to silence it.
You picked both teams that have a lot of stuff going on off the field. That's interesting.
Washington, because they both, if they don't win, it can get drastically disgusting.
Yeah.
That's why I picked them.
These Chiefs and stuff down. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Hank Hill, what up? Spoiled. Eva Rafferty, what's up? It's going to be a tale of 2 bad defenses. Yep, that's true. Thanks for stopping by. And, everybody that came on through. Oh, there he is, the Heineke.
That's all y'all need to know. You there, Pay? You ready?
Devin Clopeland stopped on by. Thank you so much. Big boy Diehard Walker. What's up, man? And thanks for everybody that stopped on through. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for everybody that also watched the Kansas City Chiefs conversation that I had with Mr. Michael Darcy. That was fun. And thanks for all the new subscribers. As I said, we almost hit 2K. Did we hit it by the end of the show? Let's see. Nope. Still at $19.99. It is what it is. We'll have to wait until next week to celebrate the 2K, but we're right there on the cusp. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thanks again for joining me, Chris, as usual. And we'll be back next week. I'm actually glad we didn't schedule a guest. Obviously, it was all because of my fault, but I didn't plan it. But it worked out because the guy only could do it on a Wednesday anyway, so I wouldn't have wanted to try to like reschedule it with like, oh, can you actually get here at 9 and crap like that. So it worked out good. But who'd you say you wanted me to reach out to? Pedro?
And Juan Gotti.
And Juan Gotti. All right, yeah, I'll reach out to them for sure this week. And we'll go from there. And until next time.